You ever meet someone and you don't know why, but you just can't stop thinking about them? Not because they were the loudest in the room, not because they said the most impressive thing, just something about them stuck. Like a song you only heard once, but somehow it keeps playing. That's not luck, that's not genetics, that's not money, that's presence. And today I'm going to break down exactly what creates that feeling, because here's what most guys don't realize. The things that make a man unforgettable to a woman have almost nothing to do with what he says. They have everything to do with what he radiates. And you might already have some of these without even knowing it. So let's get into it. Number 1, he moves like he's not in a hurry. This is the first thing women notice, and almost nobody talks about it. Not your outfit, not your face, your pace. How fast do you walk? How fast do you talk? How fast do you reach for your phone? Men who are anxious move fast. They talk fast, they eat fast, they reply fast, because somewhere in their brain they feel like if they slow down, they'll lose control. But here's what that energy communicates. I'm not comfortable. I'm not settled. I need to catch up to something. Now picture the opposite, a man who moves slow and deliberate. Not lazy, not sluggish, just unhurried, like he decided the world operates on his timeline. When he talks, he finishes his sentences without rushing. When he walks into a room, he doesn't scan it like he's looking for permission to be there. He just exists in it. Women notice that immediately. Slow movement signals internal peace, and internal peace is one of the most attractive things a man can carry. So slow your roll, literally. Take your time with everything, and watch how the energy in the room starts shifting toward you. Number 2, he doesn't explain himself. This one right here is massive. So many guys think over-explaining makes them seem thoughtful. Bro, it does the opposite. When you over-explain, what you're really communicating is, I'm scared you misunderstood me. I'm scared you think less of me. I need you to see me a certain way. And here's the thing, confidence doesn't ask for interpretation. Think about it. Have you ever watched a guy who just says things and lets them land? He makes a decision, he states it, he moves on. He doesn't follow it up with a paragraph about why he made that choice or what he meant by it or how he hopes you took it. He just says it. That kind of energy is rare. Most guys are constantly managing perception, constantly editing themselves in real time. But the man who doesn't feel the need to explain himself is saying, without words, I trust my own judgment. What you think of me isn't something I lose sleep over. And women feel that. They feel it immediately. It's calm confidence, the kind you can't fake for long. So next time you catch yourself over-explaining a decision or backtracking on something you said, stop. Say it once, stand behind it, let it breathe. Number 3, he remembers the small things. Okay, this one might surprise you because it's not what most people put on the list, but listen up because this is one of the most quietly powerful things a man can do. When a woman mentions something in passing, a movie she wants to watch, a memory that made her smile, a bad week she was having, and then a week later you bring it up out of nowhere, it does something to her that she won't expect. Not in a weird, I memorized everything you said way, in a genuine, I was actually listening to you way. Most men are thinking about what to say next when a woman is talking. They're halfway listening, halfway rehearsing. But the man who actually absorbs what she's saying and then references it later, that man stands out. That man feels different. Not because he studied her, because he valued her. There's a huge difference. Pay attention, be present. Listen to people like what they say actually matters to you, because when someone feels heard, they feel connected. And connection is the foundation of real attraction.
Number 4, he doesn't compete with other men. Here's something most guys don't think about, but women notice instantly. How does he act when other men are around? Does he try to one-up everyone? Does he get louder when a rival walks in? Does he start flexing harder the second he feels like someone's challenging his presence? If yes, she sees that, and it reads as insecurity dressed up as confidence. The man who doesn't compete is not passive. He's not weak. He's just already arrived somewhere. He doesn't need to prove he's better than the guy next to him because his identity isn't threatened by anyone else's success or status. He can genuinely compliment another man without feeling small. He can acknowledge talent without feeling like it diminishes him. That kind of emotional security is rare, and women pick up on it fast because it signals something deep. This man knows who he is. He doesn't need the room to confirm it for him. That's the energy of a man who leads, and women don't follow men who are still competing for a seat at the table. They follow men who already own one. Number 5, his standards are real, and she can feel them. This is the one most guys completely sleep on, and it might be the most powerful point in this whole video, so stay with me. Every man says he has standards, but most men fold them the second an attractive girl shows up. She's a little flaky? It's okay, she's probably just busy. She's a little disrespectful? Well, I don't want to seem difficult. She keeps canceling? I'll just give her another chance. And here's what she's feeling when you do that. Not relief, not warmth, loss of respect. Because women don't test men to be cruel. They test them to find out if this man's version of himself is real or just a performance. And when you fold, you fail the test. Not because you were too kind, because you showed her that your standards disappear when she smiles at you. But the man whose standards hold, the man who calmly and respectfully holds the line, she wonders about him. She talks about him to her friends. She thinks twice before being flaky again because she knows he actually means what he says. Having standards isn't about being cold or rigid. It's about having respect for your own time and energy. Carry those standards like they're non-negotiable because when they are, she feels it. And what she feels is, this man is real. Number 6, he makes her feel like the version of herself she actually likes. This right here is the quiet magic that separates unforgettable men from forgettable ones. Not how good-looking you are, not how funny, but this. How does she feel about herself when she's around you? Some men, without meaning to, make women feel insecure, always slightly judged, always trying to be impressive enough, always wondering if they're too much or not enough. And some men make women feel the opposite, relaxed, playful, like they don't have to perform, like they can be a little weird and it's fine, like they can laugh loud and it won't be too much. That feeling is addictive. That feeling is something she'll chase even if she doesn't fully understand why. You create that environment not by complimenting everything she does, but by being genuinely non-judgmental, by laughing with her without making her feel like she's being laughed at, by being easy to be around instead of trying to be impressive. When you make her feel free, she associates that freedom with you, and freedom feels like home. People don't forget the person who made them feel at home. Number 7, he doesn't need the win. And this is the one that ties everything together. The man who is unforgettable is the man who doesn't need things to go his way to stay calm. He doesn't need her to text back immediately to feel okay. He doesn't need her approval to validate his night. He doesn't need the date to go perfectly to enjoy himself. He doesn't need her to choose him to feel like he was worth choosing. That energy, that unshakable inner okayness, is the most magnetic thing a man can carry. It is calm without coldness, confidence without ego, security without arrogance. Most men are emotionally dependent on the outcome. They're only chill if things are going well, but the moment things feel uncertain, the anxiety leaks, and she feels it. The man who stays grounded regardless of the outcome signals one thing louder than anything else he could ever say. I was whole before you got here, and I'll be whole if you leave. That's what makes her curious. That's what makes her stay. Not your words, not your moves, your wholeness. Look, these 7 things aren't a checklist you memorize. They're qualities you develop by doing the real work on yourself, by building a life that you actually like, by respecting your own time, by showing up the same way whether she's watching or not. Start with 1. Slow down. Stop over-explaining. Hold your standard on something small this week. You'd be surprised how fast the energy around you starts to shift. And if you've ever been in a situation where you knew you were unforgettable to someone, or you found out way too late that she was waiting for you, step that in the comments. I want to know. And if you want to understand the deeper signs she's already showing you interest right now before you even make a move, I made a video on that too. Go watch it. You won't want to miss it.